Hi everyone, it is time for us to create some wonderful cards using this kit, Freshly Baked Card Making Workshop. But as you know, we changed the scrapbooking class to mix-ins, and I promised that I would do a variation of the card kit because we already get instructions and your base points are in here. So we are going to create some cards, but we're going to change them up a little bit. I have a variety of cards to show you, so let me get started with showing you the basic cards. So this is the cards that you will have the kit for. And I'm trying to find them all because I have variations of them all laid out on my work table. And I took some liberties with what they had done. And I'm missing one more. I'm looking for it desperately. Which one am I missing? Oh, the yellow with the yellow with the cookie plate. Here it is. So I did use this variation. I'm going to move them over this way just a smidge so you can see them all. I did do my version of them, give or take. Boy, that is crooked. I'm going to fix that one. That's going to drive me nuts. But pretty much took them for the way it looks. I did a little higher in the inking than they did, but it's pretty much the same there. This one, I used that stamp instead of sponging. They have a softer look here, but pretty close. That's pretty close. I did ink this up. It was a little too stark. As you can see in here, it's pretty stark white here. So that's that version. This one is pretty much the same, except that I took some of our Stickles glitter gel, the Moon Dust, and I painted the plate. So it's a little bit, I'm trying to get a shimmer for you. It's a little bit different than a glitter pen because it actually has texture in the jar. So this is fun. I'm having a lot of fun with that product. It's not new by any means, but there's so much you can do. So pretty much the same here. And then this one is pretty much the same kind of, just the same version. So when you get your kit, or you already have your kit, you get enough to make 3 of each of these cards. So you get 12 cards. And I'm not sure, the consensus was that we weren't really sure this is what we wanted 12 cards of. Some people were a little bit mixed about it, but I thought at least it gave you the version. You got at least 1 card done in them. And I am not going to do that on video because you have instructions in your kit. So they're super easy to follow. And the nice thing about the kits too is you get that, you get the card bases and everything in there. So you have product to use and work with. So that's also very cool. But I wanted to show you what you could do, maybe switching out papers and the way things look and the style of the card, but you're still getting a card using that product. So, and we're going to, like I said before, going to mix this up with mix-ins. So this is pattern 15 in Make It From Your Heart. And I have so much on here, just a minute here, sorry. Make It From Your Heart, volume 4. So pattern 13. And it, or not pattern 13, pattern 15, excuse me, pattern 15. So you're going to cut some strips. So this is a 1x5, and I'm just going to anchor this down. I've been having so much fun getting ready for Christmas card class that I almost forgot to get these posted and online. So there is a 1x5, and then this is a 1.5x5. And you know, you could use the pattern paper you have in your kit. That would be awesome. That would make a really cute card too. So that just goes down like that. And then I have maybe a 3/4x5. And that's there. It's really easy. You're just butting these up to each other. So just like that. And then you have a 1/2 inch by 5. And as you can see, I'm just using fronts and backs, and this all is mix-in paper. And I absolutely am loving this mix-in paper. And then I have a piece of Seabrook, which is 1.5 by 4.25. So 1.5 by 4.25. And I took this step set. Oh, if you could see my area right now, you would. This is one of the word stamp sets that came in that card creativity that we had for a special in September and October. Hopefully you got on the bandwagon and got the stamps and the stencils and the thin cuts that you wanted. This is something that I can see being used all the time because it's a very versatile saying. And this actually is a 2 sheets of sayings that you can use. So I went ahead and already stamped tone on tone. So this is Seabrook on Seabrook. And we're just going to anchor this down. Ugh. Seabrook on Seabrook, and then I had a 1/2 inch strip of zip strip, and it just dawned on me, I digressed a little bit here, so let me put this on just at the bottom, and then I'm going to get my spatula, and I am going to lift this up because I forgot. I had made a little gold thread doodah, if that's what you want to call it. And I am going to gently put that under. And I've shown you how to do that in the past. Just tucking up that loose end. And the easiest thing is, remember when you get your thread, it comes like this, and you want to get as much out, and then you want to take a bone folder and you want to straighten it out because it has kinks in it. See how it still has kinks? So you just want to apply light pressure so you have that, and then you're going to wrap it around your hand. I like 4 times. I think that gives you a nice version and you can play with your loops. But when you have that wrapped on your finger, then grab like a large glue dot, put it on your thumb, and then roll that to hold all those together. And then you, because that's so sticky and tacky, it holds it tight. You can play with this and make that work for you. And then I got in my stash and I found some old Daisy Meadow dots. And I thought, oh, these are going to work perfectly to match that Seabrook color. And so I'm just going to put some just around, just to give it an accent. And just focus your eye. Now you definitely could use a different, you could have used mist for stamping on. That would have worked too. But that's a fun, another take on creating with the Mix-In paper pack. Okay, so there's our first card. Let's work with our second card. And that is going to be, I have to grab the right one. So it's going to be a version of this card, the one that's driving me nuts. And I'm just gonna take my bone folder here again. And I want you to stay tuned to the second video, or the last video. And I have some other examples of cards that I created. I forgot to give you the measurements. So this is 3 1/4 by 5. 3 3/4 by 5. We're going to lay that down. Here's another piece of the Mix-In. So it's going to go just on top of that. And I kind of tried to do, you know, this is the new mist color. And so I wanted to keep it and have fun with it. So there is that. And then I'm using a zip strip. And this one is 4 3/4. So at 1/2 inch by 4 3/4. And then I have a piece of scarlet, which is the same dimensions, 1/2 strip by 4 3/4. So the top one came up here. And actually, I'm going to grab my ruler here, my T ruler. And let's get this even. And then I'm going to slide my card in, and I can see that this is not. So I'm carefully, because I used that didn't use the repositionable quite right. I'm going to put this back so I know it touches. and then just bring it down. Yay! So that's better. Then I'm just going to slide my ruler right to the edge here, this T ruler that I have, so that this will line up perfectly with the one I have down. And I'm going to start at the bottom this time and butt it up tight with that. Woohoo! There you go. Isn't that awesome? That's cool. I'm happy with that. Okay. So then we have a piece of the mist. This is the dark. This is the light. It is 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. Then I have a piece which is white, 2 1/2 by 2 1/2. And I am choosing to use, I think, off that same this one, this saying right here, and I put it down on my mat. I just lift it up, and because I haven't used this one, I am just roughing it up with my hand because I want to make sure there's no polymer, no dust, no nothing on that, and so that I get a clear stamped image. Find a piece of scratch paper to make sure, so that I don't, I want to make sure it's going to give me a crisp image. And so it's going to give me a crisp image. I'm happy with that. And I'm going to put that down. Not bad. Okay. And I am going to take my silver gel marker and I am going to pull the line down, and I'm not worried about it being straight and perfect. I just want it to frame my saying. Okay, so did you see what I did? I just drew that. And then let's give it some hash marks. And I like doing my hash marks different ways. I think it just adds some textures and you're not looking for a pattern per se. Okay, I'm gonna bring that up close so you can see what I did. So it just adds, frames in that saying a little bit. And I want to make sure I put it on the darker side. So let me add some adhesive to that. I'm doing it on my scratch paper, even though that's a gel marker. I just don't want it to smear too bad. And it shouldn't smear at all. And then let's attach this. Now you definitely could pop this up, but a lot of times we have to send things in the mail, and it just adds to that cost. Let me grab, since we used the silver, let me grab the silver, I think I have some, silver gems. So that'll carry with our theme here. And so these are fun. We'll add some of these on here, and that'll help drive home that silver look, right? And then let's just add some up here. Yeah, I think that does it. I think that looks nice just like that. So see, it's the same pattern, but look how totally different. Oh, I should put them together, right? Look how totally different those are. One being very crooked that I will dissect and work on afterwards, but you get the gist of how cool that pattern is and how easy and fun that is to create. So there's the second card. Okay, so let's get, let's see, where's my next card? So this one is a take on this one to a certain degree. I actually am doing a different pattern, but it kind of gives you that play that we're going for, if you understand, if that makes sense. I shouldn't say if you understand, if that makes sense to you. So we're going to get our, and this is actually going to be a top fold. And I think I'm going to grab my Scarlet do I have Scarlet? I'm looking for oh, maybe I'll do, no, I think I'm looking for a brush. I'm sorry, I digressed there for a minute. I'm going to use one of our new Close to My Heart brushes, and they're very thick, very tight. I love them. I love them a lot. Actually, I think that is not going to give me what I need. I think I'm going to go to a finger dauber, and I think that is more what I'm looking for. So yes, I just want it to touch the edges. Had I used the bigger brush, it would have given me a darker line than I wanted, and I don't want that. I want this to be pretty much just a faint hint. So a softer touch is what I'm saying, okay? And then while I have that ink out, I'm going to go ahead and stamp the sentiment. And I am using, I have so many here, I'm trying to figure out which one I had decided on. It was hard making up my mind. I think I'm going to go ahead and use this Just a Little Hug to Brighten Your Day. And again, I like putting them on my mat. And again, just roughing it up. And I have a piece of White Daisy cardstock that is, it is a little shy of 2 and a little over 2.5, and then I just dove cutted it and walking this across my ink pad. And going to put this down. Ooh, I like that. That's a nice, again, I hope you guys got in on this stamp set because it is a gold, let me tell you. It's got a lot that you can use with everyday stuff. Just because, you know, you're thinking about someone or just cool stuff. I think I'm going to take, I think I have enough ink still on my, I'm just going to hit this red Scarlet cardstock. And this piece is a little over 2 and a little over 2 3/4. So you're just going to just have a really small, it's just 1/8 of an inch showing, not a big 1/4 inch. So, yeah. And then, and I took these heart, this is the thin cut that comes with that kit. And I am going to take my gold metallic marker, make sure I have the right gold, yep. And I am going to draw a line on the bottom, and I'm going to stop and do some dots. No set pattern, just to add a textural element to that bottom. So you can see, hopefully you can see that. Okay, so let's put this down. And this is part of the paper in your, in the mix-ins. This is also a mix-in paper pack. It's part, all of this is so far been together. Oops, lift up, lift up, lift up. Sometimes our eyes are better, sometimes they're not so good, right? There we go. And then, oh, got the tape on me. Why does it have a buckle right there? Probably because I lifted the glue up. And then we're gonna put this right here. That's why I didn't want that on the bottom, just like that. And this one you might want to use a liquid glue or something that you can just do a little dab will do you type of thing, because your glue pen would work. Anything that's going to give you something that just gives you a little holding power, and you have a little wiggle room. Does that make sense? I like to be able to adjust accordingly and try not to put my finger on it like I just did, but so it has. And I think I'm going to set one of my blocks on it right now just to hold it in place while I finish up here by attaching this to this. And we're going to carry that gold theme again, and we're just going to draw some lines, do some dots. And it doesn't need to be perfect. Have fun. Don't be your worst critic. We all can be that ourselves, right? All right. So by doing that, can you see that? It adds just, and again, it frames in that saying. I am loving these gel pens. I think the metallic, and you have a host of colors to use. So we're going to take that off. That is going to come over here. And again, I am not adding foam tape to this, but you definitely could if you wanted to. If you want to pop it up. So nothing wrong with that, but let's add some gold gems. And I thought I had some in front of me, but let me grab some really quick. And keeping with that fun theme. Oh, these are all big. It's okay. I'm gonna go try to find another pack of these and see if I still have. I go through them pretty fast. Oh, I do have some. Okay, I always end up using the small ones faster than the big ones, but this one has a couple. So let me put a couple here, and I'm only going to put one, because I like having an odd number of that. So it's not quite the same pattern, but it gives you another variation of what you can do to make this, these 3 cards. So let me bring in the 3 cards that I created for you. So you have this variation. What's the best way? Like this, maybe. Like that. So there's some fun, cool cards using the mix-in versus the cake day. So anyway, stay tuned. We'll have another video. You guys have a great one. And as always, everything's on my website. Bye now.